Welcome guys, we're gonna do free to play Grave of Curse. This actually is not that bad. If you follow what you're supposed to do in this game, and that's to go Grave of Venom, the Harpy, as you're leveling up, that's where you're gonna get your easy legendary gear. Once you get that legendary gear from there, you can branch out into everything in this game. I only have one hero with legendary gear in this party, so I think that's really good. That means that you can come in there with much stronger heroes than I have. And we're able to do 8, but I can only get the boss down to like 18% HP before I run out of time. And this has got some really good gear in here. We're talking about gear that on a 3-piece set takes damage from all your allies. So when you go into harder content like the Ancient Battlefield to get your right side relic, you can use something like this for like Horus to absorb all that damage that your allies are taking and take it onto him, which he can take it. And I've got a video coming out tonight on free-to-play Ancient Battlefield to get that legendary gear as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It's a really hard dungeon, but I'm able to work some things out and it's working really well over there. So we're gonna start out on stage 7, then we're gonna go to stage 8. We need somebody that can remove the buff. He's got an increased attack buff and an increased damage buff. We're just gonna take those away, and then before we get hit, we're gonna make sure we have our ice shields up from our adventurer. Right now, we've got a DPS in the middle, this poison spear guy. He's a rare. He's only there to do damage. You could put anybody in place, but I needed somebody of that affinity so I could get my 3-person bonus. So here we are. We've got shields up right now. The boss is gonna hit us. He does not get shields based on the damage he does to shields. So we want shields up to absorb as much damage as possible so his little shield won't be very big. The caster on the bottom right is amazing. She does so much AoE damage, but we're not going to outfit her doing damage. We can once we put legendary gear on her, but right now we just got her with really high accuracy. So on her ultimate ability, she can remove a buff and then apply decrease attack 2, the really strong one. And then our tank in the front, she's just there to remove 1 buff. If you have better heroes, better epics and legendaries that can block buffs, remove buffs, then of course, put them in place of these heroes. But I needed to remove 2 buffs, and then I needed to get ice shields up for this. Look at the shield that he's got on. So small. So incredibly small. So we can take him down easily with this team. And again, with only 1 person with legendary gear on, and that's our DPS in the very middle, which you're gonna have legendary gear by now if you come over here, because you're going to go to the Harpy first, get that legendary gear, and then you're going to branch out into everything into this game. From there, that's pretty much the progress of this game. So it's really easy. I mean, you're just removing, he's got 2 buffs on now, boom, decreased attack, removed 1 buff. Now our tank's going to do it eventually. You know what? I'm glad we see this. This is what I had to do. We didn't have this speed in sync with the boss, and we needed to lower their skills, put skill books into them to lower their time to do their abilities. These are rare, so it wasn't like crazy to put skill books into them, skill scrolls. And then we need to also put them in goblin gear so that we could get that skill haste. One of the most important sets in the game, skill haste, to make sure that we can rotate to both of our skills quicker. You can see on skill haste, I'll show you once we go over the gear for the heroes, but most of them, I think all my people now, my shielder, yes, my girl on the right that's doing the remove buff, and then decrease attack. And then also my tank is going to have it on because we need to be able to be in sync with this boss. And to do that, we have to lower the time that it takes us to rotate through those abilities. So what I'm doing here, like this is a big long recording. I didn't try to chop it up. I'm just going to talk to you over it really quickly and I'm going to skip forward. So I changed out gear. I had to go and change gear because you can see I've only got 1 piece set right now that gives us skill haste of 26. And we're going to get that to 46 so we can get our skills going much quicker to stay in line with the boss. I had to do the same thing for our frontline tank because she just was not keeping up with the boss. When we first start, so I've got to wait. Like these 2 are fine. The tank is fine and this bottom right one, this girl is fine, but our main character, we've got to make sure that we pop this shield right about here. Once we do that, we can put her on auto and she'll last to about here, maybe to where the boss is like 20%, and then we'll have to turn her skill off, turn it back on. Hey man, this is free to play. This is the way we've got to do to get around things until we get that gear to get stronger. Now, if you've been farming Harpy and you've got all this really strong gear and really good legendary heroes or epic heroes, you might do enough damage in between to not have to worry about it. So that by the time she falls out of sync with the boss, which is many, turns later on, that you'll have the boss dead, which is more likely where you'll probably be because you've got some some really sweet epics. You've got some really sweet legendaries, and you'll be able to just burn it down because this boss is not getting a large shield up. Look at that shield. It's really small. We're stripping him of all of his buffs, and we're getting that decrease attack up. So now that she's in sync, look how quickly the tank is removing. Once we have it set up like this, it's not bad at all for free to play. We just got to manage that shield. That's it. We don't have to manage anybody else. They're going to be in tune with the boss to remove these two buffs. There we go. Removed one, decrease attack, and now our tank removed the other, and we're good. Shields up. Boss hits us. Little shield. Okay, so later on, we're going to get out of sync because we don't have a lot of damage. So right around here, you can start seeing I turned off the main character's shield. I actually missed it then too because I was messing around with it. So I turned it off and then I turned it back on and then the guy hit us after I'd already had it up. So we're going to have to eat 2 hits now so that she can get back on track. I can't cast it right now. I need to cast it somewhere in between these two and then I could turn it back on full auto. So I eat that. He gets a big shield, like a really big shield now. And then once he gets to around here, I'm going to cast our shield again. Now, and then put it on auto. So that's it. Now I'm done. I don't have to worry about it. We're going to beat this guy. Let's jump forward a bit. Same old song and dance. We've got how much time on the clock? We got a minute still on the clock, and this is stage 7. We get legendary fragments. Now, if we can beat stage 8, we get actual legendary drops now with the increased legendary drop, and we're going to get fragments from that as well. So if we can get to 8, that's going to be the good stuff, which I think we can do it. If you have better gear, or if I put legendary gear on everyone, we can do it. So here I am going from stage 7 to stage 8, making sure we have enough accuracy. Here's another thing I don't like about this game. It tells you need a certain accuracy to have a high chance to land debuffs, but I think this game has a built-in small percentage, no matter what your accuracy is, to fail landing a debuff or removing a buff, which is a real shame because up here it says for your ultimate abilities, you've got a 12% chance increase. It tells me like I need 170 for this stage, although I've got like 250 because I'm using food as well. So I don't like that. I don't like it when games have a hidden 3%, 5% chance to fail, especially in a game like this where you don't have control of your heroes. There should be no failing as long as you have the appropriate resistance or appropriate accuracy because you can't control your guys very well in this game. Here we are on 8. So 8 really wasn't bad. I mean, look at this starting point of 8. Removal, decreased attack, shields up. It almost looks like 7. We get him down pretty well. He hits us. That's a small shield, no problem. We got 8. But he's just got a lot more defense. He's got more HP. So as we take him down, we're just not taking, we're not taking enough HP away every time, right? Every rotation of all of our skills and his skills, we're not able to do it. But I mean, it really is easy. It's not like my guys were ever in danger. All I need is to have somebody remove buffs from this guy. There are a lot of other epics. There's a lot of other cool legendaries that will take these buffs away much easier. And then you can have your DPS come in here and light them up. But I have to use these 2 rares if I'm going to do this. And I'm telling you, that bottom right rare, she is amazing. I'm using her over in the ancient battlefields to remove a buff and to put decrease attack too. And it's an AoE ability. You take her into Feywild, take her into PvP, load her up with a whole bunch of damage if you want to, because her coefficient for damage on that ultimate is really high. She's so good. The one with the book in the bottom right there, casting. And that's it. This is 8. So 8 is, we're at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I was like, man, this is going to be nice. I'm going to get legendary drops along with legendary fragments. And it's going to be just as sweet as Harpy. But it will be. I just need to get legendary gear. My gear that I have, I'm on the test server right now, by the way. The gear I have on my regular account, I'm going to have to go over there and level up some. I need coin. I need some coin badly. Level up some more legendary gear and play this similar team. I won't use the troll spearman because I don't use him. I don't have him leveled up. And I'll look at other options that I have to block buffs and to strip buffs instead of that front row tank that I'm using right now, that rare. I don't really want to use her. I don't want to have to level her up, although it's much easier to level up heroes now. I don't mind leveling up the one on the bottom right because she really is that good, and I'm going to use her in other dungeons as well. And I've got everybody else leveled up. My main character, Hexandra in the back healing, of course they're leveled up. So we're running out of time. That's it. That's all it was. We're running out of time. We get the boss down. I feel like we did really, really well for stage 8 for a boss that people have a lot of trouble trying to beat. And that's it. we ran out of time and we had him down to about that much health. I think that's around 18%. That's pretty damn good. I'm telling you, we put some legendary gear on all of our heroes and we'll be set. On the test server, I try to copy the same kind of gear that I have on my main account. So my Hexandra has really high resistance right now because again, we're doing Ancient Battlefield. Look for that video tonight. And we need this high resistance to have her in the back. So in Ancient Battlefield, when he tries to stun us, we resist it and then he starts taking damage. We'll talk about that in that video, but this is pretty much how I have her geared on my main account. So I try to copy that so I'm not getting too crazy. She is booked to get additional heals, but healing and taking damage on this one isn't a big thing at all. We just need to make sure that we have this beautiful lady coming in and removing a buff and doing decrease attack too. 100% chance you're going to have to book her out. You're going to have to book her out all the way if you want to stay consistent with going with the boss. Maybe. I needed to do it for Ancient Battlefield because he's fast. Over here, it didn't look like it was that big of a deal. Maybe you don't have to book her out, but you need to get this 25% chance additional to remove and to apply it. It needs to be 100% chance to do it. And then you need accuracy. So for accuracy on here, we have a set piece that gives us accuracy and skill haste. We can farm this. This is epic gear. This isn't even legendary gear. We've got defense, we've got HP, and then over here, we've got accuracy. And then we've got this artifact that's supposed to give us a really good chance to inflict buffs and debuffs right here, 12% extra. And then we've got accuracy up here. And then you use accuracy food, which is all about milk. If you don't know about accuracy food, just go to the different places in town. Look down below at my spreadsheet. It'll show you all the places in which town to go get it. Go buy that milk and then go do 3 of the milks and you'll have the additional accuracy. Or is that resistance? No, that's resistance. Accuracy is the wine. Just look down below in the spreadsheet. You'll see it all there. Okay, so that's the wine. The wine does it, right? Yeah. The wine gives us the additional accuracy and the cheese gives us the 25 resistance. Now, this guy is the only one that I have legendary gear on, the DPSer. You can see I've got epic gear on her as well. Nothing fancy. I needed accuracy because she is going to remove a buff. And then try to put up block immunity, which doesn't matter because with the timing with this block immunity, it doesn't affect this guy at all. We just need to remove that second buff. And this was a rare that could remove it. And so that's what I brought in. We've got our shielder, right? This is our main character in the ice form, frost form to get up shields. The more attack this character has, the bigger the shields are going to be. So load up that attack percentage, attack, whatever you can do. But I did have to switch over to make sure we got this skill haste going on at 46. With that skill haste, we've got a recharge time of much shorter. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It's a lot because we're going through trying to keep up with him over and over and over. And he's actually so fast that by the time we get him down to 20% with our low DPS, we have to start this process all over again and do it in between those 2 skills and then put it back on auto, like I showed you guys. So make sure that you're getting a lot of attack here so we can get bigger shields so he does less damage and he gets smaller shields. And that's all we got to do. Again, no legendary gear. If we had legendary gear on this, we'd have bigger shields. If we had legendary gear on this, we'd be doing more damage. Legendary gear on her, even though we're going for accuracy, still, we'd be doing more damage. Same thing with Hexandra. She's a healer, sure, but I mean, if we had legendary gear, we're going to be doing more damage. But this guy does have legendary gear. He's got a plus 12 artifact, just like my guys have. I have a full set of legendary gear on my heroes on my account since I showed everybody how to get through the Harpy stage. And I've been farming legendary gear like crazy. So this is not unusual to be able to take into this one. Again, the other Harpy one is the one where you start in this game, right? We level up, we do all the domains, then we go over there and get that goblin experience, and then we go into the Harpy, and that's where we get our legendary gear, and then we branch into all the other dungeons in the game. So this is all just normal stuff. I do have attack on him, attack on him, attack on him, along with this set, which gives us additional crit. So he was doing pretty good damage, and he's got some skill books into him for something else that I was doing with heal block, but we're not using him for even this attack down. He was just there because he was a rare. He filled out my 3-man bonus, which is so damn important. But on the test server, it's weak. Like mine is way stronger. It's free to play on my account. So these, we would be stronger overall. That's why I think we can beat 8 so easily. But that's the team, guys. If you have any questions about it, let me know down below. I had a lot of fun testing this out today. I appreciate everybody for watching and all the support. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys all in a video soon.